What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Canon 5D Classic. Period, point blank. No Mark 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, none of that stuff, just the 5D Classic. And I'm going to be answering the question, is it worth it in 2018? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. I post content for creatives and small business owners like yourself. I try to help you guys make better content and also streamline the process so you can save a little bit more time and make a couple more dollars. All right, so let's jump into it today. I'm going to be talking about the Canon 5D Classic, which is actually one of my favorite and my go-to camera. So let's get started. If you're on this review or you're watching this video, then you're probably in the market for a full frame sensor, okay? So you probably already know the difference between a full frame sensor and a crop frame sensor. And you know that the Canon, the 5Ds, the Marks, and all those other models, you know that they are full frame sensors, right? And those are basically gonna look how, if you ever shot with film and you use 35mm, it's gonna look similar to that. It's gonna have that much, put inside the frame. I don't know all the technical jargon, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, so the short answer to this question, is the Canon 5D still worth it? And I'm gonna save you guys some time. The answer is absolutely, hands down, yes, okay? If you're watching this video, once again, you're probably looking for a full frame sensor and you're probably looking to do it on a budget. You're probably looking to try to get the best bang for your buck. And you want to do that because maybe you have to scale up, maybe you're looking to do more professional work, or maybe you're just a camera geek and you love getting all different types of cameras. Let's jump into it. The Canon 5D Classic. Nowadays, you could probably pick these up between anywhere from $300 to $500 for just the body itself. And with a lens on it, I'm not too sure, but lenses, you can probably get those anywhere from $100 to God knows how much, because you know that glass is expensive. But if you're looking for something on a budget and you're looking to step up, or you're looking to do more professional work, and maybe you're using like a Rebel, or maybe you're using like a 50D or something along those lines where it's not a full frame crop sensor, all right, then you're probably gonna wanna jump up to the Canon 5D Classic. And one of the best parts about this camera is that even in 2018, and I think this camera came out, I don't know how many years ago, but let's just say 10, okay? Let's say around 10 years ago, this camera came out. It is still one of the best bangs for your buck, okay? And I'm gonna explain to you why. We all know that camera gear gets expensive. If you're a photographer, if you're a videographer, if you do anything in art, right? You know that materials and supplies get expensive, and camera gear is out of control sometimes, right? But one of the things that we suffer with is we suffer with equipment envy. Being in a creative space, being a photographer, a videographer, I know all about this. We always want to get the newest gear, we want to get the latest gadgets, and nobody loves gadgets more than me. But sometimes we actually, we need certain equipment. Maybe we have to level up, right? Maybe you have a job coming up and you know that your equipment isn't really going to serve the purpose, but you might not have a large budget to go out and just go buy like a Canon 5D Mark IV, right? You might not have that, okay? But the 5D Classic, especially for photography, is an awesome camera. Now, you don't have all the features and the bells and whistles that some of the newer models do, so it's not a hybrid, right? It does just photo, no video. But, if you're already doing video, then you might be using whatever it is. I'm in the Canon family, so maybe you're using a Rebel, a T6i, a SL2, something along those lines. So one of the things I would say that is, if you're gonna be picking up this camera, you should really have some kind of idea about photography. You should know what you're doing. You should know and understand your ISO, your shutter speed. You should also understand your apertures, right? All of your f-stops, because that's gonna get you the best type of performance out of this camera. The best thing about this camera is that right now it's pretty cheap and you can do professional work with it. And as a little confession, it's actually my go-to camera that I use right now, right? When I'm doing professional jobs, I use my 5D. I love it with the 50mm frame, 50mm fixed lens on there. I have a couple of different lenses, but the 50mm is just super sweet. I really love it with this camera body right here. Now, like I said, being that this camera is a little bit older, you're not going to get all the newest features, right? So let's just say, for example, the ISO. I believe on this camera here, the ISO only goes up to about 1600. Yeah, it only goes up to 1600. So you know that shooting in low light, sometimes when you have that higher ISO, it can get you a really nice picture if you're trying to use natural light. But you also know that with the higher ISO, you get more noise and you get more grain. One of the things I love about this camera right here is that even if you go up to the highest ISO possible, it doesn't really look like noise, like colored noise. It looks more like film grain, and that's one of the things I love so much about this camera. And being that I started out shooting in film, I really love that look of the grain. Now, it depends on the client and it depends on the type of work and the look that I'm going for. So I know that nowadays a lot of work is clean, it's very digital. Even though you're starting to see a lot more of that vintage, that retro look, right? Which has that little bit of grain and that, that character to it. It's like the difference between listening to a CD or an MP3, let's put it that way, or listening to a record. It just has that different type of richness, a different type of texture. All right, and this camera is gonna do just that for you. Also, this camera shoots with a compact flash card still, so not too many people are using compact flashes these days, but what I ended up doing was I just got this guy right here. It's a little adapter, and I can pop my SD card in and out of there because, right, we're all using like SD cards these days, right? But I just have this compact flash adapter that I use, pop that bad boy in there, and it's really simple, it's really easy. I can switch it back between any type of my camera. So if my camera is using just the SD card, and let's just say we all have those bonehead moments where we forget our SD cards and maybe we have one and we have to share it between two cameras, it makes it really easy to do that. Another great thing about getting a Canon 5D is, let's just say that you're looking to do different type of client work, right? Maybe you have to step it up. Maybe you feel like you need a full frame sensor camera. Now this is really photography, photography specific. It's not so much geared towards video. We're really talking about photo right now. So you might say to yourself, okay, I need a full frame sensor, but I don't have a large, budget. Or maybe you do have a nice size budget, but you want to stretch it out. That's what this camera is going to allow you to do. You can get a full frame crop sensor, right, for a good price between $300 to $500, right, which is awesome. Whatever lenses or glass that you already have, you can throw it on there, except for, if you're using a Canon like a Rebel and it has just the kit lens, you can't use that on this bad boy here. Another good thing about being able to save extra money when you buy this camera is that you can use those expenses on other things. So maybe you need a new flash unit or off-camera flash, which is something you're definitely going to need because this one does not come with an on-camera flash. Which, if you're doing professional work, you shouldn't be using that on-camera flash anyway. That little guy that pops up, don't use that, all right? You really should be using an on-camera or an off-camera flash where you can bounce the light and have a little bit more control. So let's review. All in all, I think it's a best bang for your buck for the price that it is, for the adaptability that you can use it for. And if you really know how to use a camera, you know your settings and you understand the fundamentals, then you can't go wrong. And like I said, I use this camera till this day. And really, I haven't really upgraded on the photo side. I have upgraded on the video side and the cameras that I'm using and the lenses that I'm using. But as far as photo, man, you can't beat this. So Canon 5D Classic, bang, bang, bang. I love this camera. This is my go-to camera. This is my homie right now. This is my homie when I'm shooting photo, when I'm doing professional jobs, when I'm doing stuff just for myself. I absolutely love this camera. And if you're looking for it, I will recommend it. So Canon 5D Classic, you need to get it, you need to check it out. If you're thinking about it and you have the money to do it, you might as well spend it, get it, and then if you have some extra dollars left over, get yourself some other things. Maybe get yourself a flash, maybe get yourself some lights, maybe get yourself some extra batteries, all of those things that you know that you need that aren't the sexy things, but you know you're gonna need them for when you're doing jobs. And that's it for me today, folks. I hope that you enjoyed this review of the Canon 5D Classic. This bad boy is a workhorse. I recommend it to anybody, even if you are already a professional and you just want like a backup camera. go with it, man. The Canon 5D Classic, you cannot beat it. Pictures look super sweet, but it also, remember, you gotta know what you're doing, right? Because having the best equipment doesn't mean you're gonna get the best photo. So I hope that you guys found this review valuable. If you liked it, please subscribe, like it, share it with your friends, or leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the Canon 5D Classic. Are you using it? Are you about to get it? Or have you gotten it and you are like me and you absolutely love it? Thanks again for joining me, guys, and until next time, peace.